All right, let's get another shave in here. Today we're going to join in on the Sample Sunday fun. And today we're using Barrister and Mann's Fougere Gothique. This was sent to me from my buddy Duckfat on Instagram. Eric, thank you. Sent along a bunch of good stuff for me from Hawaii, so that was badass, brother. Thank you. Yeah, this is in the reserve base as far as I know. It's kind of like a earthy, yeah, definitely like an earthy, like darker earthy, warm. That's all I can get off the sample at this point. Maybe we'll get a little bit more once we get into it. I saw my buddy Jack from the Virtual Groomroom do a video this morning on Sample Sunday, and I know me and him had talked about it, and I was like, shit, I had something else planned, but I might as well join in on the fun. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be using the Rockwell 6S with the Merkur Super Blade. The post, I'm going to use some Zingari's The Tribe, which is sandalwood, amber, and spices. Also going to be bowl lathering. I tried to copy my buddy Jack, if you can't tell, if you watched his video over at the Virtual Groomroom. I tried to copy him. So, bowl, sample, the Zingari balm. I don't have the West Coast Shaving Lye. That's what he used, but I also used another fairly beginner-friendly razor. So, I got some spread out into my Lancaster bowl there. I will do a bowl lathering kind of tutorial down the line. That's, I primarily bowl lather, so I will get one of those in. I know a couple of people have asked for it. I believe he used a Wolf Whiskers synthetic in his video, so I'm going to be using my Wolf Whiskers custom here with the Frugal Shave Blood Knot synthetic. So, tried to copy him the best I could. I just got some black coffee in here with a little bit of sugar. Alright, so let's get started. Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube wet shavers. So, when I see them doing shaves every now and then, it inspires me. And I just straight up copy them. So, not trying to steal anybody's thunder at all. It's just, I love your guys' videos, and sometimes I feel inspired to copy them. So, it is what it is, guys. Now, Jack was mentioning how the reserve base is kind of difficult for some people to dial in. And I know this because Will went on to West Coast Shaving and actually had to break it down for people. But what I will say was Will only described how to face lather, basically. Loading directly out of the tub and taking it to the face and periodically adding water. He didn't cover bowl lathering. And I'm not super familiar with the reserve base, but I feel like if I just do it my normal way, we will eventually arrive at a good lather. Or at least a serviceable lather. Knowing what I do know, kind of start off with a fairly dry brush. From what I know, a little bit of the reserve soap goes a long way. One thing I do while bowl lathering is I try to spread my sample out as far as I can on my bowl. I try to make it cover the most surface area that I possibly can, because I've learned over time that if I just squash it into the bottom in one ball, I'm just sitting there swirling and swirling and swirling for ages. And after the shave is done and I'm cleaning out my bowl, I noticed there's still a whole bunch that was unused still at the bottom in the same spot that I started at, you know? So I've kind of learned over time to spread it out and make it as thin of layer as possible and cover as much surface of the bowl as possible. And that way, when I start swirling my brush around, I have a higher chance of incorporating that entire sample into my lather. And there's a lot less left over when I get to cleaning my equipment at the end. So, just a little tip for you guys. And I think we got a good start here, so I'm going to go ahead and wet the face, and we'll get into it. So what's everybody doing this Sunday? I probably ain't going to do much. I might have a barbecue, see if any of my friends or family are available. But probably not going to do too much, because yesterday we went over to the Seattle area, but Puyallup to be exact. And me and my dad and a family friend of ours, we went to the Washington State Sportsman Show. So that was really fun. And then I hit up a tap room / bottle shop and had 2 flights of beer samples, as well as picked up some stuff to take home to some of my friends, as well as just for myself. So that's always fun. That's right up my alley. And then we had dinner before we headed back at a place called Crockett's Public House. And that was featured on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri. So that was kind of cool. They had some really good burgers and ribs. So, and they had beer on cask, which I thought was really cool, because you don't see that very often over here in the States. I know some people are keeping it alive. It's an old European style where they serve the beer for the most part warm, and they serve it without adding any forced carbonation. So the only carbonation it has is just the carbonation that comes from the yeast eating the sugars, and is a byproduct of the alcohol fermentation process. So for a lot of people, when they have a cask beer, they're like, what in the hell is this? Warm, flat. But if you don't know anything about it, it's actually a great way to get all the flavors that are hiding behind cold beer. A lot of reason why beer is served cold is because it hides impurities. At a certain point, the cold temperature shocks your mouth, and it hides a little bit of those impurities. And why do you think, Coors Light, Bud Light, all that, all the big guys, why do you think it's almost a staple for them to say ice cold, cold as the Rockies, all that? Why do you think that's pushed so hard? And have you ever had a warm beer, one of those, and how bad does that fucking taste when you have a warm one? It's because it shows all the impurities of those beers when it's warm. But on the other hand, if you have a good beer and it's warm, you're going to show all the flavor that might have been masked by by serving it ice cold. So that's just a little fun fact for you guys. At this point, you're probably wondering, is this a shaving channel or is this a fucking craft beer channel? It's a shaving channel. All right, so that was a pretty damn smooth first pass. So more about the scent on this Fougere Gothique. I've heard a lot of people don't like this. I've heard a few people that absolutely love this. I'm going to be in the camp of, I like it. I don't think it's as earthy as some say. Now, granted, it's only a sample, so I might not be getting the full effect if I had like a full tub. But it's definitely earthy. But it has this, it has enough kind of sweetness to keep it from being one-sided and overbearing. It also has like this nice like top note, and I can't quite put my finger on it. It's almost like a faint like floral or citrus or something like that. And it's not really, it's barely there, I should say, but I feel like the addition of that little bit is also enough to really round this scent out. So yeah, definitely a winner for me. I enjoy it. I don't think it's too earthy at all. I've smelt scents that I think are earthier than this. But it's definitely there. It definitely has that earth. It's not like it was misrepresented or anything. It's definitely there. Alright. Yeah, so quite enjoyable actually. And the reserve base lathered up pretty damn easily. And it's quite slick. The performance is everything I'm ever gonna need to get a good shave. It's definitely a little bit lower structure, but it definitely maintains a decent density, and it has all the slickness. It's funny, when I first started, and one of my first razors was the Merkur 34C, and I used these Merkur blades that came with it, and I was getting such horrible shaves due to my inexperience. And I kind of thought, wow, either this razor sucks or these blades suck. And it's turning out that neither one of them sucked. It was me, and it was my inexperience. Let me try to stretch that a little bit more. Got a little bit there that I was trying to hang on. So yeah, the blades, actually not that bad at all. And the Rockwell, as many people know, is a great shaver, so that probably only helps the fact. So let's rinse this off, see if there's anything we missed. Yeah, but that was super smooth. All the products seem to be firing on all cylinders. So definitely a good shave so far. It was cool yesterday at that sportsman show. Got to see all the the antler competition. See all those record-breaking racks, and see all the hunting dogs that were there. Bunch of good-looking dogs. Since my my last dog died, I'm kind of dogless at this point for the first time in my life, and it's driving me insane. So I will be on the hunt for a dog soon. All right, I'm using a basic bitch towel today instead of my badass Lancaster microfiber. So can't be full luxury all the time. But if the towel is the only thing that is subpar on this shave, I can't really complain, can I? The soap base was good, the scent was good, the shaver and the blade was good. I know for a fact the post shave is gonna be good. So firing on all cylinders today, it seems, which is good. Good way to start off your morning with a great shave. All right. And 20 minutes later, it seems like I finally got all the soap out of my beard. One of the worst parts about being a bearded wet shaver, man. It stays in there. All right, let's get some of this post-shave balm on. Zingari, the tribe scent. I figured this was a warm scent. Not necessarily earthy, but just warm and creamy. So I don't think it's going to interfere much. Not that the residual scent from the soap was really going to hang around long, but it's definitely not going to clash. It'll blend right in, no problems. This one is actually probably a couple notches up on the sweetness compared to the Fougere Gothique, and it has the spiciness to it that the Fougere Gothique did not have, and pretty much no earthiness. The sandalwood is just, it's a more creamy sandalwood than some. All right. Now I also got something cool here. My buddy, I don't know if he made a drunk purchase or what, but the way he described it to me was, I had a bad dream that I spent $200 on beard oils, and he goes, and then I woke up and it wasn't a dream. So he's been mixing some beard oils at his house, and he made one for me here. Has a little crown on it called the King, and this one has a sandalwood and bourbon are the scent notes, and it has sweet almond oil, a little bit of vitamin E, as well as jojoba oil. So it's a fairly basic blend, but I told him those were all good ingredients to start out with. So I've been using this, testing it. I'm sure I'll get good results. Those are good ingredients to start out with there. The scent is light, but it's fine. You don't need your beard oil to clash with your fragrance of the day. And yeah, I've been having good performance with it. I know it's not the most complex blend in the world, but the guy's just starting out, and he's definitely putting his best foot forward. So anyhow, let's get a little recap here. Fougere Gothique sample in the reserve base. Really good stuff. Rockwell 6S, super popular here, with the Merkur Super Blade in it. That was its second use, I believe. Now my Lancaster bowl and my Wolf Whiskers custom with the frugal shave Blood Knot Synthetic on top. Good little latherer there. And then, last but not least, the Zingari Aftershave Balm, aptly nicknamed the best balm in the game. And my buddy's little beard oil sample that he sent along for me. Great stuff. Alright guys, I think that's it for me. Cheers. Have a good Sunday and a good rest of your weekend. Peace.